My cousin left my boy out of her wedding even after he dedicated 8 months crafting her dream dress. She still believed she'd walk down the aisle in it. She never saw our decision coming. I'm Marilyn, 43, and I've been raising my son Ethan on my own since my husband passed away in a motorcycle accident when Ethan was just 9. What I never imagined was having to shield my 17-year-old from the very family who should have celebrated his incredible gift. "Mom, I need to show you something," Ethan said last Wednesday. His voice carried that hollow sound that always made my chest tighten. I found him in his room, his little workshop where ideas came alive. Fashion sketches filled every wall. Fabric swatches dangled like bright banners. And in the corner sat his grandmother's old faff sewing machine, worn but proud. This room had been his sanctuary since age 13, when grief over losing his dad drove him into creating beauty with his own 2 hands. That old machine became his counselor, his mentor, his best friend. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" I asked. He lifted his phone, barely glancing at me. Something inside him had completely shut down. "I never got an invite to Aunt Melissa's wedding, Mom. I'm crushed. I made her entire dress, and she doesn't even want me there." My heart dropped. 4 years earlier, when Ethan stumbled across that dusty machine in our attic, I never guessed it would become his lifeline. He'd been so quiet, withdrawn. But sewing gave him purpose, gave him hope. "Mom, can you show me how this works?" he'd asked back then, running his tiny fingers over the metal frame with awe. By 14, he was sketching his own patterns. By 16, he was doing commissions for neighbors across Salt Lake City. And now, at 17, his work was so impressive that my cousin Melissa had practically begged him to create her wedding gown when she got engaged 10 months ago. 9 months back, Melissa had floated into our kitchen in West Jordan, her diamond ring glittering under the Utah sun streaming through our window. "Ethan, honey, I have the most wonderful request," she chirped, sliding into the chair across from him. "You're so unbelievably talented with design and stitching. Would you think about making my wedding dress?" Ethan's eyes went wide, his math book forgotten. "You want me to make your wedding dress?" "Of course I do. Just imagine how special it'll be, wearing something made by my gifted nephew. It would mean the world to me. And naturally, you'll sit right up front, beside Grandma Hazel." I saw his shy smile stretch across his face like sunlight. "If you really trust me with something that big." "I absolutely do. This is going to be perfect, Ethan. Perfect." But staring now at his devastated expression, I realized how wrong we had been. I immediately offered, "I'll cover all the materials. Consider it my contribution to your day, Melissa." She hugged us both, tears in her eyes. "You're the best family anyone could dream of." What followed were months of Ethan giving his entire heart to that gown. Sketch after sketch. Dozens of fabric runs across downtown Salt Lake shops. Late nights when I'd peek in at 2 a.m. and find him bent over that machine, determined to get every single stitch flawless. It became his masterpiece. But Melissa's feedback grew colder. "These sleeves look silly. Make them tighter. I hate this neckline, it makes me look wide. This lace looks cheap. Get something pricier. This skirt is too puffy. I want elegant, not a cartoon princess." Each word cut into his confidence, but he pressed on. "Mom, she makes me redo everything. I've remade this bodice 6 times already," he'd sigh after long days at East High School. I kept saying, "Wedding planning is stressful, honey. She's just anxious." But deep down, I knew her cruelty was uncalled for. By the time the gown was finished, Ethan had hand-sewn over 200 tiny pearls. The sleeves were delicate webs of lace. The train flowed like liquid satin. At the final fitting, even our mother gasped. "Oh my word, Ethan. This belongs in a museum." Melissa whispered, "It's gorgeous. Truly gorgeous." For a second, I thought she finally valued his gift. But then, "Mom, I never got an invite," Ethan's voice cracked, snapping me back to reality. I texted Melissa, "Hey, Ethan says no invite came, did it get lost?" Her reply, "Oh, right. Adults only. No kids allowed. He'll understand. He's mature. 17. He made her dress. And she called him a kid. I called her instantly, my voice shaking. Melissa, he poured 8 months of his life into your dress. You don't think he deserves a seat at your wedding? It's my day, Marilyn. I want sophistication. Teenagers at weddings ruin the vibe. I'll make it up to him with lunch later. Lunch? You broke the only promise that kept him motivated through all your criticism. Not my fault you can't handle reality, big cousin. Then she hung up. That night, I found Ethan carefully folding the gown into tissue paper. What are you doing, baby? Figured I'd send it to Aunt Melissa anyway, like she asked. Sweetheart, she doesn't deserve it. He looked at me with the same lost eyes he had when he was little, asking why Dad couldn't come back. She never really wanted me there, Mom. I was dumb to believe her. You weren't dumb. You trusted family. That's different. And that's when I knew. I texted Melissa. Since Ethan isn't invited, you won't be wearing his dress either. Her call came instantly. You can't take back a gift. Real gifts come with love and respect. You gave my son neither. She went silent. So I listed the gown online. Within hours, a bride named Samantha from Ogden drove over, saw it, and cried with joy. This is beyond stunning. You made this yourself? Ethan blushed and nodded. It's the most beautiful dress I've ever seen. You've saved my wedding. She paid instantly and left glowing. The next morning Melissa called back, panicked. Fine. Ethan can come. Just give me the dress. Too late. It's sold. To a bride who actually valued him. Her scream nearly cracked the phone speaker. On her wedding day, Ethan and I were at Ipe, eating pancakes. You know what, Mom? Maybe Aunt Melissa did me a favor. Now I know my work matters. And I don't have to let family mistreat me. Weeks later, photos arrived, Samantha glowing in that gown at Red Butte Gardens. She wrote, Ethan, thank you for making my dream come true. You're unbelievably talented. Never let anyone make you doubt that. That message lit him up in a way Melissa never could. Months passed. Ethan's little business exploded. Word spread through Utah's bridal community about the young designer with the stunning gown and the awful cousin. He got commissions, features, and even an offer from the Fashion Institute of Design in New York. As for Melissa, one bitter text, hope you're happy. You ruined my special day over a dumb dress. Ethan just shrugged. She still doesn't get it. It was never about the dress. It was about respect. And his right. Melissa got her wedding. But Ethan. He gained something priceless, self-worth, respect, and the unshakable truth that he'll never be disposable again. Sometimes, the hardest moments teach the most important lessons. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away from the people who don't value you. And that is how everything unfolded. If you've stayed with me through this story, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, I'd love for you to tap the like button, it really helps more than you know. And if you'd like to hear more stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe, and maybe even turn on the little bell, so you'll always know when a new one is ready. Until then, I'll see you in the next story.